we're happy to cooperate with other parties, but we're in a situation at the moment where we have the Liberal Democrats replaced the Green in South East Metro. The Freedom Party have apparently thought that the best way to fight for freedom is to try and undermine a Libertarian elected representative.
By talking about your group voting tickets from 2018.
Well, I think that maybe the Freedom Party ought to say whether or not they want to preference us above the major parties and the Greens, because we haven't been able to obtain a commitment for that. That makes me really question, what do these guys stand for? I mean, we're very clear on our principles for the last 21 years that we've stood for the principles of liberty. I don't know what the Freedom Party stands for.
You're going to put us at the bottom of your GVT.
Is there any truth behind that? How long have you been registered?
Is there any truth
like 4 weeks. You've been around for 4 weeks.
When are you going to apologise to the people of Northern Metro when they voted one for Liberal Democrats and ended up getting Fiona Patten?
I tell you what, in 2018, where were you? Where were you?
I was advocating. I was protesting against Daniel Andrews.
Fighting to defend the Liberty Victorians back in 2018.
I was campaigning against the Belt and Road Initiative. I was calling out Daniel Andrews for his inappropriate relationship with China, undermining our national security. Very critical. It was happening since he was elected to Premier in 2014. 6 trips to China, a memorandum of understanding behind closed doors. He circumvented DFAT. You know it was a security risk. You spoke at my protest.
In 2018, no one had any idea what was going to happen with people like Fiona Patten. In fact, in 2014, when she got elected...
We knew she was a radical leftist, though.
Well, no, she's never been...
Okay, maybe point taken, but will that be happening again this year? Just in full transparency, will you be giving her a hand up in Northern Metro?
But I'm not negotiating these things. I don't know what's going to happen.
Because I don't think the Victorian people want her back.
Nick.
Sorry, can I just ask, do you guys want me to let this continue?
What a blood sport, give it a rest.
Yeah, but let each other, because look, this was going to come up, wasn't it, guys? So I've been waiting for the right time to bring it up anyway. So, I'm happy to let you guys have that discussion. Are the other panellists okay with that as well?
And that's why you can't have unity.
We want to hear from these people. So how about we take turns?
That's just democracy. It's a battle of ideas.
This is the democratic process that we are here to defend in action. So let's just witness this for a minute.
If there was an actual desire to cooperate, we would cooperate. But I'm not seeing an actual desire to cooperate here.
Yeah, but we just need to know that you're not going to be aiding people like Fiona Patten to get re-elected. And I think the Victorian people deserve to know that.
So, who would have gotten elected in 2018 if it wasn't Fiona Patten? Do you know?
It's not, well, she was above the Democratic Labour Party.
Socialists.
No, you put Fiona Patten above the DLP. I mean, there were other Conservative parties. The Aussie Battler Party, I mean, they were okay. The Australian Liberty Alliance, headed up by Avi. I mean, Fiona Patten outranked all of them in Northern Metro.
The only people that had a chance in 2018 in Northern Metro of getting that spot was Fiona.
But what I'm really talking about is you should just tell the public what your intentions are.
Would you have put the socialists in? That's the question. That's the question.
You put the Victorian Socialists above the Liberal Party. I mean, I'm not here backing the Liberal Party, but I would never vote Socialists above Liberals.
Well, I wouldn't vote for any of them.
Okay, I've got an idea. I'm going to just quickly go to the question that we all kind of want to know, which is, can you tell this room, at least broadly speaking, that you will not put Labor in front of Liberals and you will not put the Socialist Party in front of Liberals? I'm not asking what order you're going to put everyone in, but, can we have that guarantee? Because it is Labor that has hurt us so much. And if you can't, then that's okay. But say whatever you can. And the Greens is obvious. Okay, wait, sorry, I'm going to start again. I knew there was going to be some hiccups, guys. Okay, so there's a system, the Glenn Druery system, there's a preferencing system. We all understand it now. It's something that we didn't know before, which is, it is what it is. So let's start with Bernie, and biased person here on, what do you think of the preferencing system, what are you going to work with Glenn Druery, and in what capacity can you say that?
Well, I'm not aware of us working with Glenn Druery.
You're not aware, or you're not?
No. I'm not doing the preferences. But I can give you a guarantee, and the state president over there, Hugh Dolan, has given me a permission to say this, that we will be putting the ALP and the Greens last. Full stop, end of story. Last. That's it. That's it. End of story. That is, there's no two ways. No talking to Glenn Druery. No talking to David Limbrick. No talking to anybody. We are putting Labor and the Greens last.
Jeff?
Not done by me, of course. It's done by head office, but everyone at this table has been spoken to, particularly on my left here and also on my right. We've spoken to them, and we're looking pretty good. Preferences aren't done or complete yet, but we're in good discussions with the majority on this table. Oh, sorry. Well, that's clear. If I'm dealing with these guys, the answer is no.
Morgan?
Yeah, so we don't appreciate how the so-called preference whisperer Glenn Druery has been able to manipulate Victorian politics. So no, we're obviously not using those services. And as far as I'm concerned, the absolute enemies to the Victorian people are the Daniel Andrews Labor Party, the Greens, the Victorian Socialists, Fiona Paddon's Reason Party, the Animal Justice Party, that guy who stepped out of a taxi and was catapulted into the upper house called Rod Barton, that was elected on 0.6% of the vote because he forked out the money to be there. People like that should never be returned to office. So we're coming in as wrecking balls. We don't care. We're going to stick to our guns. We're going to preference parties that align with our values, and those who we believe are a cancer to Victoria will be at the bottom of our group voting tickets and our how to vote cards.
So, unlike some of the parties represented here now, I personally am the spokesperson and acting leader of Victorian One Nation Party. I have the autonomy to make those preferences myself, and I can promise you with my hand on heart that I will only be preferencing parties that are shared value and like-minded. Having said this, I think the Victorian model is a subversion of the democratic process, and not enough people have gone out and educated themselves on how best to circumvent it. And I also will not, in good conscience, waste the Victorian One Nation supporters' vote on allowing that to be proffered by somebody other than One Nation or a value-aligned party. It's that simple for me.
We talk with all parties, and we also talk with Glenn, people like Glenn. Glenn helped us in the 2018 election, and like lots of people have been slagging him off, but I'll say this, what he did in 2018 is removed 4 Greens from Parliament and replaced it with 2 Libertarians. Now, if that hadn't have been involved, if there hadn't have been coordination, what we would have seen is wall-to-wall Greens in Victoria over the last 4 years. I don't think anyone here wants that, and I definitely don't want that in the future. We will be doing everything that we can to make sure that there is a voice for liberty and pro-liberty voice in Parliament over the next 4 years.
Thank you.
You see, I don't like the Greens either. I don't think anybody likes the Greens.
We've already done that.
The fact of the matter is that if Victorians want to vote for the Greens, they've got a 10% vote. It should be their right to vote for them.
Morgan, we've already done that.
Who are you, me, or
Morgan,
anyone to play democracy?
Lee, what do you think of the preferencing system and Glenn Druery?
Vote for the Greens.
Thank you. Last. I would say that I'm aware that we are already largely cooperating with most of the gentlemen to my right. There is an ethical block in play. We are studiously avoiding Glenn Druery. We think the idea that a person can charge a great deal of money to allow others to buy their way to Parliament is completely unconscionable. Notwithstanding prior results, I think the time has come where we're all aware of what's going on with preferencing, and we want to do it better. So I'm really pleased at the level of cooperation. There is good cooperation amongst most of the people on this table. There's lots of talk about resource sharing, which is really encouraging. We won't all be covering all the seats, and we will help each other where Freedom is in one seat and we're not, we'll send our resources there, and vice versa. We know this kind of stuff is in play. I just want to commend the good people of the UAP and Freedom and One Nation
and DLP who've had these discussions with us. We're very encouraged by that, and we will keep it going.